Hello everyone, welcome back to Esoteric Ramblings. I'm Jesse Arnold, and today I'm going to be doing my comic rundown for week 6 of 2021, February 10th. Hey, welcome back. I've got my comic rundown for week 6, 2021, February 10th, coming at you for New Comic Book Day, Wednesday. Coming at you on Thursday this week instead of Friday or later, as I've done the last couple weeks. So, I don't know, by the time this posts, it might be Thursday morning, but there we go. All right. First up, as always, we run through alphabetically, then my favorite cover of the week, and my top 3. And then I've got a little something extra. I'm not going to do a whole review on it now, but I've got this Extreme Sets Deranged Alley 2.0 pop-up. This is a pretty cool display piece that I won't go through the whole thing. Maybe I'll do a longer video on it down the road, but it's cardboard cutouts of different alley street scenes. It's got a perforated door. You can see it's scored on the back so you can bend it in for action figure display and things. So there's like a double door. Hello. We got a closed garage with graffiti. Alleyway with a gate. And, there's another wall with some pallets and whatnot. And there's a couple other pieces, and it comes with a little instruction book in here on how to put it all together. So you've got like some joining assembly pieces that are, I guess that's supposed to be like a column, like a brick column. Some floor street pieces. And have I lost it already? I'm making a mess here. There is an instruction thing in here. It's just stuck in the plastic. Yeah, so it's got all the instructions in there on how to put this together from the Extreme Sets. Ordered this in at the comic shop. You can find them at all of their social medias right there. They've got all sorts of different ones. This one I plan on doing for my NECA 7-inch NECA movie TMNT figure. So I just thought I'd show that off real quick, and I'll do a full video display with some figures set up around it down the road, but just wanted to throw that out there. I picked that up last week, just didn't squeeze it into the video. So yeah, I can't wait to mess around with that this weekend, or maybe later this week if snow cancels work. We'll see. Okay, so without further ado, comic rundown week 6 2021. First up is Amazing Spider-Man 59, continuing the Mr. Negative story that's set up last week that is still spinning out of the events of Last Remains. New on the list this week, I've read the last couple issues, but Daredevil issue 27. Yes, I jumped on the bandwagon when Elektra, spoiler alert, Elektra put on the Daredevil costume, or a version of the Daredevil costume in issue 25, as Matt Murdock is in jail, or Daredevil is in jail, and people need to know that Daredevil is still out there, and it's tying into the King in Black, which I'm not super excited about, but there's some really cool stuff with this. I should have been reading this series all along, because Chip Zdarsky's writing it, and his take on Spider-Man and some other Marvel characters, especially these more grounded street-level characters, is just fantastic, and I absolutely love it. So I'm probably going to have to go back and reread the rest of the run prior to this. So thanks a lot, Chip Zdarsky, for writing good stuff that makes me want to read more. Speaking of good writing, Kieran Gillen's second issue on Eternals, #2 here, with Asad Ribic and Matthew Wilson, I believe, on colors. Yes, colors. Again, Eternals, not a group of characters I'm super familiar with, and I know there's a movie coming out, so it's fun reading this to get a little bit of an insight into at least some of what they are, knowing full well that the movie is not going to line up probably with this story, but at least I'll know a little bit something going into it. Next up, Future State, Superman, Wonder Woman, issue 2. I'm going to be honest, full disclosure here. I did not read this one yet. I never fully read issue 1, and I did not read issue 2 yet, so those are going on the rainy day pile. So apologies, but I really like this Yara Flor character from the Future State Wonder Woman, so I am reading some of the stuff she is in just to get a little bit more of her character. Issue 3 in Homesick Pilots. This series has been really, really interesting. Haunted house meets time travel meets weird neon punk stuff. It's great. I really recommend this series. I'm gonna say if you like stuff like Stranger Things, even though it's really nothing like Stranger Things, or Paper Girls, it kind of fits into that teenagers, weird stuff going on vibe. So yeah, it's definitely cool, and I would highly recommend checking this series out. Up next from Image is Low, issue 26 by Rick Remender and Greg Tuccini. This has been, and Dave McKeag on colors, this has been years in the reading, this series, and it has been quite a ride. I can't wait to get the second collection hardcover so I can go through and reread the whole thing from beginning to end. But I don't know if it's been talked about a lot in these videos, but hope is one of the biggest driving forces of my life. And when I saw the Rick Remender in his letters after issue 1 he was challenged to write something about hope, I was like, really? This is the book after reading issue 1? I was like, this is the book you're telling me is about hope. And it is probably the hardest, bleakest, darkest take on hope that I could ever imagine, and it is well worth the trip, well worth the reading. The art is beautiful, the storytelling is fantastic and heartbreaking, and yeah, so if you have not read Low, the final issue just came out today, and it is a great story. So if you get a chance, check that out at your local comic shop. There's several volumes in paperback. I know volume 1's out in hardcover, and I'm assuming there will be a volume 2 announced before too long now that it is completed. Yes, so there's that. Star Wars, Darth Vader, issue 10. Continuing Vader's test and trial with Ogive Bastoon, and going to Exegol and all the darkness and things that are going on there. This was another fun issue. Just seeing Vader in a different way than we've seen in the movies, and even in different books and things, because there's not a lot of him outside of the movies, and this is just, I mean, I know there are some books and some stories with him, but there's not a whole lot, and between all of the stuff Marvel's been doing since they got the Star Wars books back has just been really, really powerful takes on Vader and some of the other characters. So great job on that team for continuing to deliver the, I believe, 3rd or 4th volume of Darth Vader. That's just fantastic. All right, we got a little side story here in Transformers Escape issue 2. This was a lot of fun, this miniseries so far. It's tracking with a bunch of characters that I've always liked: Wheeljack, Shockwave, Hound, a couple characters I'm not familiar with. The Insecticons are featuring pretty heavily in this series, so this has been a really cool side parallel story to the main Transformers book. I mean, we're only 2 issues in, but definitely recommend it if you're reading the main Star Wars or Transformers. Sorry. Whatever I said there about Star Wars after putting Darth Vader down should have been Transformers. If I said that wrong more than once, I apologize. Issue 12 of Undiscovered Country, from Scott Snyder, Charles Soule, and a couple of great artists and creatives on the other sides of it. Yeah, this series has been a wild ride as a group of explorers have gone into a sealed off United States years and years and years in the future. By sealed off, like it's literally sealed off with a wall and I believe some sort of atmospheric dome, perhaps sealing it off. But yeah, it's wild and crazy and it's just out there and I love it. Scott Snyder can write this sort of stuff all day long and I'll be there for it. Between this, American Vampire, which was a fantastic series, Witches I only read a couple of the issues of but thought it was fantastic. Yeah, great stuff. Fun little one-shot today, from White Ash. The was it White Ash? I totally almost said it wrong. White Ash. It is Galarian. It is a one-shot, exploring some of the history of some of the characters in White Ash. This has been a really fun series. I keep saying really fun. I got to come up with some better words, increase my vocabulary on positive and affirmative words for things. But a series I just kind of picked up on a whim. Fantasy people, elves, dwarves, vampires, those things coming to light in a small Pennsylvania mining town. Being from Pennsylvania, it really caught my attention. Not that I live in a mining town or have anything to do with mining, but I know it's a part of the culture of my state, and I wanted to check it out. And this is great. I've been really enjoying this series. Cannot wait for it to come back and see where the adventure takes us. And last in the main rundown here is X-Force number 17, an issue largely dedicated to one of my least favorite mutant characters of all time, Quentin Quire, aka Kid Omega. Yeah, I'm not going to go into a big negative down rant about Quentin. I just will say that this issue not necessarily changed my opinions on him, but it was an enjoyable issue, seeing the journey he goes on in this book. So if you like X-Men, if you like Quentin and that era of characters, I definitely recommend this issue. It is all about him. And I will say the mystery and the what's going on that was set up in this, I am definitely intrigued to find out where that goes. So, yeah. At least it didn't have a lot to do with Beast being horrible in this issue, so. Alright, and my cover of the week, it was hard to choose one, and then I realized I got this really awesome variant cover for Excalibur number 18. The Russell Dodderman Rogue variant, where it's just got all these different variations of Rogue's costume throughout the years. And my favorite right here, this one, is the Rogue costume that she was wearing that hooked me into comics back in X-Men 69 during the Muir Island saga. So, and all the other great classics. I love the Age of Apocalypse here. Let's see, the more Uncanny Avengers era one back here. Yeah, just a really great issue or cover with a lot of Rogue, which, you know, is a good way to get me to buy anything. And we come to my top 3 now for the week. And surprise, surprise, if you didn't realize I hadn't listed it earlier, number 3 for the week is Excalibur number 18. This is we're back from the Ten of Swords contest and challenge, and Excalibur is dealing with the missing Betsy, or the Betsy that they have. Something is wrong with her, and it's just nice to see Rogue kind of taking front and center stage in this book, because some of my favorite stuff was when she was leading the Uncanny X-Men team, and when she gets to do more, not just because my favorite character, but because she's a character who I don't think enjoys being in the spotlight, and seeing how she deals with leading, it seems like it comes in a way naturally to her, but not in the way it does for Cyclops, or some of the other X-Men leaders. So it's just really fun to see her kind of doing her thing with a team here. Number 2 for the week is Fantastic Four number 29. This almost made cover of the week. This is a great Mark Brooks art of Johnny going full Human Torch on some of these King in Black space dragons. And again, I'm not really following the King in Black story in general, but a lot of the stuff I read keeps dipping into it. This was fun. As with Daredevil and some of the other books, I am seeing characters getting taken over by the symbiotes, and it's a little different than being a Venom symbiote because it's, tied to Null and all of that now. So it's a little more intense, but I will take them being temporarily taken over by symbiotes 9 times out of 10 over other things that I won't mention because I don't want to be insulting and mean on my channel. And my number one pick for the weekend, almost tied for favorite cover of the week. TMNT number 114, continuing the story of future Lita coming back. And yes, that is Toka and Razar there in the background of their faces, with the rest of the turtles there in the middle. Just really great to see them finally in these books, and the way they're doing. There's some great nods to the original Turtles 2 movie and some other things that I really enjoyed in this issue. And just, it's not a default that Turtles will be my number 1 pick the week it comes out, but it usually is because it's just so well written and the art is great, and I just really, really enjoy the series. So I cannot wait for next month to see what happens with Turtles facing off against Toka and Razar. So if you are not reading the Ninja Turtles, I highly recommend going back to the beginning of the IDW series. It's a lot. It's 114 issues to read, plus a bunch of side stories. The side stories aren't necessarily vital to the main plot line, but it definitely references back to it. They're not just throwaway miniseries. They usually do come back and impact the main story in some way, or at least referenced multiple times. So yes, there it is. I think this might be one of my longest comic rambles. I'm going to blame that on the damaged alley or deranged alley, whatever it was, photo or background set that I was trying to show off poorly. So there it is. Comic Haul Rundown for week 6 of 2021. Thanks for watching. I'll be back on Friday with a WandaVision reaction. And until next time, catch you later.